The Netflix series The Tiger King has left many viewers debating whether or not Baskin played a role in the 1997 disappearance of her second husband. One of the major questions to emerge from Netflix's docu-series sensation Tiger King is whether or not big cat rescue owner Carrol Baskin played a role in the 1997 disappearance of her second husband, Don Lewis. "Oh, I didn't kill my husband," says Carrol Baskin. Drop a comment on the video and let me know, do you think Carrol Baskins killed her millionaire husband? In the third episode of the Tiger King series, Baskin's longtime rival Joe Exotic alleges Baskin murdered Lewis and fed his body to her big cats at her wildlife rescue center in Tampa, Florida. The popularity of Tiger King led Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Cronister to announce this week he was reopening the case involving Lewis's disappearance and seeking new information into the matter. However, the case went cold after no serious leads were determined. Since the series aired, the case has been reopened due to popular demand, and Carrol Baskin is again being investigated over the disappearance of her husband. Throughout the series, look at Carol's body language when she speaks about Don Lewis. You will read she wants the man gone. Her reaction when she's asked about her husband is awfully chill. Most spouses, even the strangest of grievers, generally don't laugh when asked about the disappearance and/or murder of her ex-husband. Tampa authorities confirmed Tuesday that they have been receiving numerous tips concerning the Don Lewis cold case. Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Cronister told local media that the police will be reviewing a lot of the evidence in regards to the disappearance of Lewis, the ex-husband of Tiger King subject Carrol Baskin. Cronister also said his office was getting at least 6 tips a day, but none of the leads were credible. The sheriff confirmed Baskin said her lawyer told her to refuse a polygraph test. "There's a lot of suspicion that surrounds that will," Cronister said. He also said that the meat grinders mentioned in the Tiger King were removed several days before the sheriff's office searched Baskin's property, so there was no way to test them. This seems suspicious, doesn't it? The meat grinders are removed from Baskin's property after the airing of the Netflix series. There's a segment in the Netflix series that goes over the possibility of Carrol Baskin using the meat grinders to break down her husband before feeding them to the tigers. The series states that the meat grinders were never tested for Don's DNA. The fact that these meat grinders disappeared after the airing of the show sparks more suspicion towards Carol's involvement of her ex-husband's disappearance. Carrol Baskin also acknowledged both in the documentary and in media coverage of Lewis's disappearance that there was multiple arguments in their marriage. According to the Times in 1997, critics of the couple's refuge pointed out that while it was classified as non-profit, Lewis turned it into a business by buying big cats at auction and selling them for a profit. Baskin told the newspaper she wanted to keep the cats and give them a home. "That was the point of the conflict between Don and I," she said. After Lewis vanished, his children and Baskin fought over control of the business and the property. The Charlie Project said, "A durable power of attorney document Lewis signed in 1996 gave Baskin control over his businesses and property." Carrol also refused to cooperate with the police investigation into his disappearance or take a polygraph, when all other members of the family volunteered to take polygraphs. This is another factor that causes suspicion over Don's disappearance. Local authorities claimed that the case was reopened because Carrol and Don were so competitive. They were skeptical of everyone who came and worked for them, says Cronister. Cronister also claims that it was almost like each individual employee had to prove their allegiance each and every day. What we're hoping is that maybe one of those relationships has since soured. Maybe one of the employees has watched this documentary and been flooded with emotions, and maybe they or anyone else who has any kind of knowledge of this case will be motivated to contact us and give us the piece of evidence that we're missing to be able to solve this disappearance. Most of the calls have been theories, says County Sheriff Chad Cronister. You can tell that people have finished the series and they want to call and provide their theory on who did it and how it was done. However, he adds that this definitely isn't discouraging people from doing that, as people calling in with their perspectives may help the detectives see this through a different lens. There was a theory that Don fled to Costa Rica. However, Cronister claims that there's no evidence that he chartered a plane or record of him using either of his 2 passports to leave the country. The case is complicated in almost every way, and the detectives were met with some type of obstruction at every turn following Lewis's disappearance. Susan Bass, a spokesperson for Big Cat Rescue, says that the organization is hopeful this latest development will lead to a break in the case. This is one of Carol's own employees who spent time around her, confident in the fact that Carol is involved in the murder of her ex-husband. "We hope the sheriff's plea for leads will result in new information about what happened to Don Lewis," Bass said in an email to Time. Cronister says that he remains determined to solve Lewis's case. "There would be nothing more gratifying to me as sheriff 23 years later than to be able to bring some type of closure or justice to this family." So what do you think about this case? In my opinion, I think Carol is involved in the disappearance of her ex-husband, and her case is just a ticking time bomb until some tangible evidence is found. Let me know what you think about the case in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe for more similar content. Thanks for watching.